What is up, YouTube? Hannah here from Hannah Mandala, and today I'm going to be going over my 5 top tips and tricks on how you can excel in university. I am a recent master's student graduate from the University of Toronto, and I'm currently based in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I am a freelance writer and editor, and yeah, I'm a digital nomad, so I am traveling the world working from my laptop, and I'm providing these tips so you can do the same thing. You can live the happiest, healthiest life that you want. Perhaps that might not be a digital nomad, but hopefully these following tips are gonna get you going on the path that you have always dreamed of for the life that you desire. So let's get started. So, my first and very obvious tip, but very overlooked and often neglected component of university as semesters progress, is showing up for your classes. I cannot emphasize the importance of this enough, because by showing up to your classes, one, you're getting a big component of your thousands of dollars worth of investment into your education. You're also giving yourself a better chance of understanding what the expectations are that you need to meet in order to excel in that class. When you are listening to a professor, a lecturer, or a teaching assistant, so a TA for your classes and tutorials or something, you are absorbing the concepts and materials and the methodologies that are being emphasized, and therefore that need to be implemented into assignments and that you need to know for exams. When a recurring topic is happening, that is a red flag for you to know and master that concept and really integrate it into your learning process for that particular class. Number 2 is to choose the right classes for you. So perhaps you're a first-year student or you're in a really structured program and there's very little flexibility in the classes for your first or second year. Work with the flexibility that you do have. And these tips for choosing the right class are applicable for whatever year that you're in for post-secondary education. But look through your options and click on the topics with interest on the courses with an interesting title and read the description. In the description, there will likely be a review of the main concepts and topics and the methodologies in which those topics are going to be taught. So perhaps you like the topic, but you don't like the methodology, or you think the methodology is really cool, but it's on a really boring topic. Maybe try to find something else. And then also, in addition to the content of the course itself, think about the content provider. There's a very helpful website called Rate My Prof, and I really suggest that you go there and look at the reviews of the professors. It's essentially a platform where students are able to provide their feedback and their opinions and their experiences of different classes with different professors. Sometimes a professor is really bad for first-year classes, but really good for highly specialized fourth-year classes. Maybe wait to take that class until your 4th year, so you know that based off what other information there is that you are learning about that professor, that you're really enhancing your experience. And in addition to making sure you're choosing the right classes, try to optimize your school schedule and ensure that it complements your lifestyle. If you're a morning person, take 8 a.m. classes. If you're an evening person, make sure you take the later classes. There's probably going to be circumstances where you have to take a class that doesn't fit into your optimal lifestyle schedule, but overall, you can usually find flexibility in making sure that you take classes that are best for you. So really try to do that, because university is an exciting opportunity for you to learn new material, and you want to make sure that you're providing the chance to learn from someone, so your professor, is really good, and you also want to make sure that you're in the right mindset to excel. Tip number 3. This is my single most important tip in this video. If you do not take away anything else, you need to take away this tip, and it is to interact with your professors. Interact with the people who are going to give you your grade. Professors, for some reason, there's this stereotype that professors don't have time for their students and all they care about is their research. Which is true. Research and publishing is important, but when you demonstrate initiative and interaction with the material that these professors are usually highly specialized in and have dedicated decades of their life to, they're going to not close the door in your face. They're going to engage with you. If you ask questions, they'll provide clarity. If you don't know how to do something, they'll provide resources. And most importantly, what I found most helpful from this is that the professors know that you care, and that usually results in some leeway in providing grades. That doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get an A, but it means that the professor is able to understand maybe something that you don't fully get, but they can see an improvement from this discussion that they had, so you might have a better chance of getting a better grade. Or if it's kind of a more philosophical class with more concepts and ideas and critical thought that are required, all the better. That means even more flexibility in grades and a better likelihood of getting a good grade. On this note though, make sure that you're actually being genuine. When I was doing my master's, I had the opportunity to teach some classes, or tutorials rather, and when students came to me after an assignment and they didn't get a good grade, and they're like, oh, I really care about this material, and getting a good grade is really important to me, and I really appreciate your teaching efforts, and I just really want to improve my grade. But it was coming from an insincere place. Professors and lecturers and TAs pick up on that. So just make sure that you show up for your classes that you actually are interested in, and then engage with the professor throughout the entire time. Ask questions in class, engage during class discussions, or send follow-up emails to lecturers if you're really shy in class. And yeah, just interact with them. And then in addition to having an optimal setting for getting a good grade, professors are amazing connections to have for the rest of your life. I still keep in touch with my professors. I've been to some of their houses, met their families, and they're also amazing references for future jobs or other academic opportunities or scholarship opportunities. So just take some time to learn about the person who you're learning from. Number 4 is to create a routine around your comprehension. So you're like, what the frick does that mean? What are you talking about? Ultimately, it just means to find a cozy space or a comfortable spot, or a busy place if you prefer to have lots of things going on around you to ensure your concentration. Just have a few spaces that you can go to, whether it's on campus or at coffee shops or in your home, that you know is a reliable spot for you to learn the material. So as important as it is to show up for your classes and make sure that you're in classes that you're actually interested in and engaging with your professors, you still want to walk away with increased knowledge from university. So give yourself a good go at gaining more knowledge. So for me, that meant that I was either, since I'm a morning person, at the library when it opened at 7 a.m. In one of a few corners, and just working for the first 3 hours of the day with very few people and getting in tons of information and getting lots of work done. Yeah, just make sure that you know how you learn and understand the best setting in which you learn, and you're probably going to go through a lot of trial and error in finding the right spot. But once you find that sweet spot, it is going to make learning so much better. And yeah, just make sure that you're doing what you need to do to get the grade that you want. And finally, that brings me to tip number 5, which is to cut yourself some slack and take a break. Vital Seamless by Jim Sharp. Is amazing what a clear head and focused intention can do when getting work done. I promise that if you decide to put your phone on silent for even half an hour, better an hour, but whatever time frame that you can do, and to get work done, is crazy the amount of work that you can get done. And when you're really focused, it's easier to get effective work done and reliable work done. And oftentimes when it came to like a research project, for example, I would dedicate 3 to 4 hours to getting the research done. And then all of a sudden I've read through 10 or 15 papers, not thoroughly, of course, I'm not that passive a reader, but reading the abstracts, the intros, the conclusions, maybe briefly going over the methodologies and everything. Those 3 works will pay 3 hours of 3 works. Those 3 hours of work is going to make the writing process and analysis process so much faster. So just take a break when you need it. Be concentrated when you do work. And if you're not feeling concentrated, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, or if you're feeling frustrated, take a step back. You are not a failure. Just take a step back and go back to it with a fresh, focused mind. This does not mean procrastination. Procrastination, once you get on that procrastination bandwagon, it's really hard to get off. So just don't label it as procrastination, label it as taking it as a well-deserved break and a refocusing period. Refocus your intentions with your work and you're set up for frickin' success for university, and you're gonna get those good grades. That is it for my tips and tricks today on how you can excel as a university student. If you have not yet liked or subscribed, make sure you do so below, and comment in the comment section if you found these tips helpful. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in my next video.